I'm Safi Russell from SDR Consulting, Inc., and we're here today on Business Basics Friday. The goal of this session is to provide some value to small business owners in the space of tax, accounting, and general business, and then have an open Q&A at the end.
Hey everyone, happy Friday to you all. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy November. It's my birthday month. If you're joining us live here today, go ahead and share in the comments where you're logging in from. We'd love to see who's on today. I'm joining from New York and it is 63 degrees today, so still warm in November. Looking forward to the holidays and all that fun stuff coming. So once again, if you're here live, go ahead and share in the comments where you are joining in from. We're going to get started in 1 minute. So today is Business Basics Friday. Once again, if you're here live, go ahead and share where you're joining in from. So I'm Safi Russell, founder and CEO of SDR Consulting, Inc. Welcome all of you to Business Basics Friday. If you're here for the first time, Business Basics Friday is a weekly session catered to providing valuable information to business owners, practice owners. We have a variety of guest speakers that come in and share topics about the many areas of your practice or business that you may need to manage to help educate you in that area. This is strictly information and education purposes. No client relationship is established here. No legal advice being provided, and we're not liable for any use of information provided today. However, you can definitely set up a consultation to address your specific needs. As far as my background, I've been in the industry 20 years, and I'm a CPA and enrolled agent and have a master's in taxation. And SDR Consulting, Inc. is a virtual firm based here in New York, but we do service clients all over. And we mostly work with business owners, especially those in the mental health profession, helping you reduce your concerns regarding tax and accounting so you can focus on your clients and your own well-being. So after today's session, if you have questions, feel free to go ahead and post them in the comments, whether you're here on Facebook or listening in on Clubhouse. If you're here for the replay, go ahead and put replay in the comments. And so it's my time to introduce our guest speaker for today. And today we have John Elder joining us today to cover the topic of private practice marketing basics. So John, you can feel free to come on board and the floor is yours.
All right, thanks for having me on there, Safi. My name is John Elder. I'm streaming live from sunny South Texas, where it's actually a nice warm 84 degrees. I've been doing SEO. I'm the CEO of Five Dog Digital Marketing. We do web design, search engine optimization in order to rank that website. We run ads. We do all the basics necessary in order to build out your business on its digital footprint. So that being the case, I'm going to do a little screen share and walk you guys through a quick little presentation just to kind of touch on some of the basics here. Here we go. Now what you see here is basically all the things that you could be doing in your business in order to get better market share, to expand your brand awareness, to really reach out to your ideal customers. Now, the first thing here is SEO, but that's presuming on the fact that you already have a website. So if you don't have a website, you're starting below 1. So first you need a website, then you need to rank that website. From there, you can then go on to ads and then getting listed on listings. I kind of like to do things a little different. I put up the listings and the SEO and right up front when I'm doing the website, and I like to combine the SEO and PPC, and I'll explain why in a minute. But then we get into the more exotic stuff that people would like to try and jump into square one rather than recognizing that it's more for brand awareness rather than actual client acquisition. So if you're trying to use Facebook and you don't even have a website, you may want to rethink your priorities there. Let me see. Here's something I made. I know you guys are in the mental health space. I also have a master's degree in psychology, so that's why I particularly like working with other psychologists and therapists and whatnot. So you'll recognize Maslow's work here. I repurposed the hierarchy of needs a little bit to fit the marketing space. That being said, where safety would normally be on the pyramid, you have to have existence. You have to exist. You have to have a presence in the digital space. That comes in the many forms. You got your website. sorry, that means your website, your Google My Business, or now it's called the Google Business Profile. Same thing, they just changed up the layout a little bit. Your social media accounts, you're definitely going to want to utilize your Facebook, your Instagrams, your Twitters, all that good stuff. And you want your profiles on all the major search directories. So you want your Psychology Today profile. And there's Yellow Pages, Manta, there's a bunch of them. I would say there is at least about 300 just in the mental health space. So getting listed on all of those are going to provide multiple lines in the water to pull clients with. Yeah, your website, your Google My Business profile, your social medias, all these other sources. These are all feeding into your business. So next, once you get established, is to try to move those up. Because once you get a website, it's brand new, it's going to be in sandbox mode. Google doesn't know you, they don't trust you, so they're going to throttle you back. You're going to be on page 5+ where no one goes, and you're going to be stuck there if you don't do some kind of SEO and feed Google's algorithm what it wants to see. Unfortunately, what Google's algorithm wants to see changes almost monthly, so you really got to find someone who's adept at writing those changes like a surfer is at riding a wave. You need someone who can spot the algorithm updates coming down the pipe, be able to do the research to find out what changed, why is this guy suddenly number 1 and the guy who was number 1 is now number 10. What are they looking for? What do they want to see? And then feed them what they want to see and ride that wave. So that's kind of how SEO works in a quick synopsis. But SEO does take a little while to build up. It's like a blue chip stock. So that being said, think of it this way. I'm going to touch on that a little later. Let me just zip through the rest of these real quick. Then you got, of course, your paid advertising. Stop clicking it. This is what a lot of people go straight to. They just want to run ads and not think about anything else. And then they dump their ads off on their Facebook page or whatever cheesy little web builder that they built that's stuck in the middle of Timbuktu. So these are good, but I like to run them in conjunction with the SEO, because as the SEO slowly ramps up, you get this dead area in the beginning where you're not getting a whole lot of action, and then it ramps up and you get a really great cost per acquisition. So in order to alleviate that dead zone, paid ads up front. So you got your ads running across the top, continually dropping 5-10 clients a month. Then your SEO ramps up and overtakes it over time. Kind of how that works. I got a better graphic soon, but I think you get the idea. Then you want to work on your client retention, website automation, appointment reminders, billing reminders, automatic appointment requests, review requests. The more you can automate out of your business, the better off you'll be, because then you can just focus on what you love doing rather than running around with like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to figure out, how's my billing work? How's my admin work? Did I call this person back? This person wanted an appointment and crap, I already have something scheduled then. Eliminate all those problems with automation on your website to take care of all that garbage for you so you can just do you. That's my recommendation once you scale to that point. Then we can get into the exotic ads, social media marketing, the sales funnels, retargeting ads, Netflix, Hulu, billboards, all that stuff. So that being said, let's take a look. Now, the idea behind the Google My Business profile is to get listed right here. The Google My Business profile is directly connected to Google Maps. So every time you do a search, Every time you do a search, you're going to end up right here in the front section. This is the top. So you definitely want to get there because that's where all the clicks are at. Google exploits list bias very effectively in their search strategy. People do their search. In this case, it was a remodeling contractor. And this is the first thing they're going to see is the maps. And then underneath this is what we call the organic section, the regular listings. So people are going to automatically start at the top right here, thinking number one is number one. He's the best. He's the best. He has the best SEO. That's all. So he's going to get like 99% of the clicks. 50% are going to go to the second guy. then 50% of that are going to go to the third guy, and it drops exponentially. And I keep clicking that. So it really helps to be what we call above the fold, meaning when you do a search, you want to appear directly on that page that shows up, because otherwise the amount of traffic your site's going to get, the amount of potential customers you're going to be in front of drops precipitously. So getting here is the key to organic client acquisition. So that being said, we usually like to start when we onboard a new client with a web analysis. We take a look at your website, check all the various factors. We can check your Google Analytics, your Search Console. We can look at the website itself, go through all those metrics. We can look at your offsite SEO factors like trust flow, which is basically your domain authority, and citation flow, which is the amount of traffic you're getting. And we can monitor your link profile, which is all different links pointing back to your website from other websites, guest posts on blogs, things of that nature. And we can really get an idea of where you're at. We then basically do the same thing with the number one guy in the area. In this case, it would be this guy. And we can then see where you're at, where he's at, and what we need to do to bridge that gap. That's the focus of the SEO, and that's why it works so well. Another aspect of it is what I call a heat map. Now, this is the same search. However, I conducted it using a different program that we have. This shows you not only how you're ranking, but how you're ranking for where. This shows you how geography can really come into play here. So this is the name of the business. This is the name of the business right here. This is the search term. So say you're standing right there where the pin's at. That's where the business is. So if I'm over here and I do that search, he's the number one thing that comes up. If I'm over here and I do the search, he's the fourth thing that comes up. And if I'm over here, he's the 14th result to come up. So that's how geography plays a factor. And SEO, and local SEO especially, which is working on the map section, there's several factors to green up this map. You could be dropping pictures from around this area, like say, this is Houston, by the way, and the Woodlands up here is kind of where all the rich people live. So up here in the Woodlands, say I wanted to rank better there so I could get some more of that high-end clientele, I would be dropping images from there, soliciting reviews from customers in this area, creating posts from my Google My Business profile, directly targeting this area. I would be looking at the market demographics in that area, getting to know the ideal resident in that area so I can target my ads directly to those people, which will then obviously increase my presence in that area. They'll click on the ad. Therefore, I'm getting more traffic from that region. Google will green me up for that region because obviously I'm sought after because I get a lot of traffic from there. That's called CTR manipulation, by the way, which is a little more complicated, but so I'm not going to go too deep into that. But basically, yeah, just utilize the functions in your Google My Business profile. It's a free tool. Take advantage of it. You can drop images, you can solicit reviews, you can upload video, you can create posts. There's a lot there. I actually have several videos on this in my YouTube channel, and I think we're going to put a link in the comments below for that or stash it somewhere. So check that out. That being said, here's a little graphic that just gives you an idea of the factors that Google considers when figuring out how to rank your website. So you'll notice one of the biggest squares here is consistent publication of high quality content. That's Google's whole business model, providing search relevant results or local search relevant results. Meaning if someone types in therapist near me, well, if you're right here, you can guess this guy's going to be your number one hit, but if you're over here, it's going to be someone else because you don't own that part of the map. So that's how publishing consistent quality content that directly targets search inquiry is very helpful. You can do this by adding location pages to your site. You can do this by adding service pages discussing all the different conditions that you like to work with. whether that's religious trauma, whether it's post-traumatic stress, any of the above. Create a service page discussing it. I'll discuss a little more about page layout, but service pages on your website will do wonders for getting you the kind of traffic that you're after. If you're after PTSD clients, you have to mention that you work with PTSD clients on your website. Otherwise, you're not going to rank for it. Furthermore, keyword research will help you find all of the terms that people are actually plugging into Google in order to find therapists that work with PTSD. So it could be like PTSD therapists near me, therapists that treat PTSD. Keyword research will give you all the searches and the search volume and keyword difficulty if you want to run ads on that. So by utilizing your keyword research, you'll have 5 or 6 different synonyms that all get really good traffic, and you weave that into your content, weave that into your header tags, weave that into your meta tags. If you're on Square or Wix and you don't have those, you're just going to be on page 5 and there's nothing you can do about it. I'd call those vanity sites. They're great if you need something on a business card, but if you're actually trying to rank well and pull customers, that's never going to happen. You need to go to WordPress. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Additionally, like I was mentioning, keywords in the meta title tags. So your title tags are going to be like your big header tag at the top. That's called an H1 in our terms. And then the subheaders are going to be H2 through 6. Basically, the higher the number goes, the smaller the font gets. So you want to utilize your special high search volume, low keyword difficulty keywords in your title tags. Think of it as the big Cliff Notes version for the Google bots. They're going to crawl your site, look at your tags. If it says PTSD therapist in Bronx, New York, you're going to be showing up for that search term a lot easier because it's a direct match with exactly what you have in your tag. In addition, we can then turbocharge the site a little bit with some backlinks. This is like guest blog posts on other sites that have good authority. Google tends to rate new websites, just like I'm sure you've heard the phrase that don't hang around those kids, they're a bad association, or you're going to be no better than the 5 people you spend most of your time around. It's kind of how Google looks at it. So if you have a bunch of links to your website that you bought off Fiverr and they're all to really bad spammed out pages with 0 domain authority, that's not helping you any. Google's just going to shake their head and go, you guys are fucking bad. You want some good quality blog posts or whatnot on sites that have good authority so that some of that authority can rub off on you. Furthermore, if those sites do have good authority, they're going to have good traffic. So some of that traffic's going to come through the pipe for you as well. So you're going to get authority, you're going to get traffic, which is also going to help with authority. And whatever keyword you're emphasizing in that blog post, because every blog's going to have something hyperlinked that links it back to your site. That's what makes it a backlink. It's linked back to your site. That key phrase is going to improve in the rankings because the more people click that to go to your website, the more Google's going to say, wow, people really want to see this person's business and they are really associating it with this search term. So maybe we should rank them better for that search term. Sometimes logic wins. Who knows? Also, this gives you the opportunity to exhibit niche expertise. One thing I like to do when I'm building a website in order to really emphasize this and drive the point home is kind of structure it like a speech. On the home page, you want to kind of tell them what you're gonna tell them. So at the top, maybe you'll have your header tag, then you'll have a little bit about you guys, and then you'll touch on your various services. We work with couples, family, group therapy, individual therapy, adolescent counseling, whatever it is. Whatever you want as far as a client, you want to mention it on your landing page and just give 2 or 3 sentences and a link to the service page right there. Don't make them hunt for the link. If they can't find where to click to get to it, they're going to get frustrated and rage click away. Then your click-through rate's going to be terrible. That's how long someone lingers on your site. You want to keep them on longer. So you want to make it easy. You want to make the buttons easily findable. So anyway, so after you tell them what you're going to tell them, you link all those service sections back to the individual page for that service. So now you're going to tell them on the service page, you want like 500 to 800 words describing everything about that service. For PTSD, you could touch on like, what is PTSD? How do people get PTSD? How does PTSD manifest in your daily life? How it can be a hindrance, really touch on their pain points. Just like, in a good sales pitch, you want to find the pain point, devise a solution, and work with them to overcome that. So you want to present your content in the similar way, find their pain point, present a solution, and then come in with their hook in order to get them to contact you. And at that point, in that service page, when you're talking in detail, again, keyword research. You want to find out all the synonyms for PTSD or PTSD symptoms, PTSD treatment modalities, all of these things. You want to slip all those keywords in organically into the content so it reads well, but it also triggers the bots. In addition, some of the keywords are going to be harder, like therapist near me. No way of really squeezing that into a paragraph without it sounding really wonky. So another factor is the images on your website. Google doesn't see pictures, it sees lines of code. So if you change the image name from whatever gibberish.jpg it came in by default to therapistnearme.jpg, Google's going to see that. So it is what it is. You'll then rank better for that keyword because Google sees that there's an exact match on that page for that search term. Furthermore, if you geotag that image for a specific area, like the Woodlands, you could click right here in this program and pull the GPS coordinates, plug those into the image, then drop that on your Google My Business profile, and that image with that GPS coordinate and title tag will start making you rank better in that area for that search term. But that's a little gray hat, so I didn't tell you that. Again, with user engagement, again, make everything flow easy, provide lots of links. If you are talking about some kind of esoteric terminology, which I know we as therapists tend to do a lot of with our acronyms, I try to get away from that, but when you're discussing terminology on the service page, like just say EMDR, so the layperson isn't going to have any idea what that is. Hyperlink that to a blog where you just discuss what is EMDR. There's a good search volume behind that, so it's a good one to rank for. Plus, you'll increase user engagement because you're going to keep them on there longer. They already read through the homepage and they liked it enough to click to the service page. Now they're on the service page looking and they're wondering what's EMDR. So they start going down the rabbit hole of clicking links to blogs, and that'll keep them active. That'll keep them engaged. That'll help increase your domain authority, help make a better user experience. Everyone wins. Then, yeah, that's pretty much what I call internal linking. When you're linking your homepage to your service page, then hyperlinking certain terms that may be a little esoteric to the average person to blog pages that explain them. Also, when doing keyword research for blog purposes, check this out. Do a keyword research like anxiety, and then couple it with the who, what, where, why, and how. And suddenly you'll come up with all the questions people are plugging into Google about that. That's a gold mine for trying to figure out, what am I going to write a blog post about? Just answer the questions people are already asking Google. Do that, and as soon as someone asks Google, they're going to say, hey, I have an exact match right over here on this person's site, so I'm just going to put that right here. Good trick there. And the rest are kind of technical, schema markup. Again, your Wix and Squarespace isn't going to have that. Your SSL, which is your site security, definitely get your site secured. You want the HTTPS before your URL. I had a site hacked and had to recover it from the code level, and it was not fun. So definitely secure your page and ensure that your host has good speed. Don't go with some janky third-party hosting out of Bangladesh. You want a good host. I prefer HawkHost. They're in Dallas. They have blazing fast speed, and I've never had any problems with any hack jobs or anything there. So there's a lot of good ones. And of course, mobile friendly. lot of searches these days are on mobile. So if someone pulls you up on their phone and your website's just like showing the top left corner like this, and they have to right click over to scroll across, they're going to click away real quick and you just lost a potential client. So these are some of the ranking factors to consider. Here's how organic search looks though. 90% of traffic, or 90% of websites get zero traffic. That's because 90% of most searches don't go beyond page 1. Again, list bias. Everyone clicks the first link, 50% click the link beyond that, and it drops exponentially. So if you're not on page 1, you're getting practically no clicks. So that kind of emphasizes that point. And again, with SEO, this graphic right here kind of touches on the correlation between ads and SEO. SEO is like a blue chip stock. It performs great in the long run, but you have to have patience and keep investing. However, if you want your short-term wins, that's where ads come in. They generally run pretty flat. Google can get a little better over time. Facebook actually tends to get a little worse over time, but overall, it's going to be pretty static. So you'll get your 5 to 10 leads every month from these guys. Meanwhile, this guy will pop 1, then you'll get 2, then 5, then 8, then 10, then 15. So you can see the cost per acquisition for a potential client just gets lower as your SEO gets better. Because say you're paying $750 a month and you're getting no clients, that sucks. But if you're paying $750 a month and you're getting 20 clients, that's awesome. So SEO is worth it, but the front end stinks. That's why most people drop in that first few months. They say, this isn't working, this is garbage, and they just don't have the patience. You have to understand this is a long game move. Great foundationally for your business for the long run, so you can get in that top ranking position naturally without having to pay to get there. But in the short term, you might want to pay to get there so that you're there and you're also working on getting there naturally anyway. So that fills that gap. So I would advise consistency and patience, just like anything else with your marketing efforts. SEO is great, but if you don't have any patience, you're going to keep going like this, then dropping, then starting over, dropping, starting over, dropping. You can only do that so many times before it's just bad. Don't do that. Have a little patience. So this is Google My Business. Again, there's more heat maps. So that's about it for my presentation. Oh, one of the other factors I wanted to mention real quick. Am I still screen sharing? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me get back where I was at. So that covers kind of backlinks, and I touched on blog posting. Those all help to increase your ranking. Also, your citations, like I mentioned, your Psychology Today, your WebMD, all those, there's thousands of different places to get your business listed on. I have a YouTube video where I actually show how using Whitespark can help you increase your visibility by basically finding your top 3 competitors, doing a Google search, and finding out the top 3 guys in that map pack, plugging their URL into Whitespark. You get 3 free searches a month, or a day actually, so utilize them. You can grab those 3, run them through there, and it'll tell you exactly where they're listed so that you can build a profile on the same sites. That way, you are basically copycatting the top guys in order to give Google the same qualifications that they have so that hopefully you can get in the same position that they have. So that's another YouTube video I have that walks you through everything there. And again, we'll provide a link for that. So that's basically my presentation in a nutshell. Does anyone have any questions? Happy to take any questions from the group, see if anyone has a particular situation that I can help shed some light on.
Perfect. Thank you, John. That was great information. Anyone that has questions, go ahead and post them in the Facebook chat or on the Clubhouse chat. I'm going to try to man both here. And one question I had, and I know for me, this was my first question when I kept hearing SEO. What does it mean? What does SEO stand for? You may have covered that, and if I missed it, but what does SEO stand for? And if you were to break it down to a third grade level, what does it actually mean?
SEO stands for search engine optimization. That means structuring your site in such a way to do two things. First, feed the Google algorithm exactly what it wants to see in order to move you forward, and also at the same time provide a better user experience. So you want to balance the two. A while back there was a trend toward keyword stuffing. Like if you're a therapist, you would just keep saying therapist every sentence. So if you search the word count on the website, you'd see therapist like 20 times. Google got hip to that, and that doesn't work anymore. Every month they change their algorithm, and that change was hit a while back. So SEO can come in many forms. Search engine optimization means your site structure, like I was mentioning. Tell them what you're going to tell them, then tell them what you told them. And user experience, that's usually reflected in the click-through rate, which means how long they linger on your site. So if people go to your site and they tend to hang out for a while, it tells Google that you have a good site and people engage with. That's why Wikipedia is usually so high ranking, because generally people like to read the articles, and so they're sitting there for a good 5-10 minutes at least. So that helps. So user experience, a good layout, a good aesthetic, and then beyond that, the backlinks provide additional traffic so that you're getting more traffic, better user experience. All this tells Google that, oh man, these guys are pretty popular. They're getting a lot of people on there and they are staying there. So they must be good. So we're going to go ahead and bump them up a little bit.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Thank you for that. So it's pretty much your ranking, your online presence, and all those different pillars you mentioned are really important. And I like the fact that you mentioned your preference of order, where you can get the immediate results in terms of, leads and clients, potential clients, and then you have the back end work for the long term. And you can also, with the organic traffic, just the constant posting, that's important. I've kind of seen that where the start and stop, you get impatient, you're not seeing results, and then kind of when you just set it and forget about it and have the work done consistently for you, if you can't, if you don't have the time to do it for yourself, then you start getting the appointments, and it's like, oh, I found you on Google, or I found you on an internet search, or so it does.
Looked
I
for a
have seen.
therapist and you popped right up.
Right. Yeah. So I've seen
Those
it,
are the best.
I've seen it in the accounting space where, after a year and a half of constant posting, that's when it started to show up, like you said, naturally, but it did take time, and I did do the start and stop in the beginning. So definitely it takes patience. So when, what's important with, a mental health practice or any other business out there is that if you're just getting started, or if you've been established already, you want to make sure you have a proper budget for your marketing spend so that you can simultaneously work on your organic and have someone help you with that if you don't have the time, and also work on the technical, the SEO and the website and all those things, so that while you're building, that's kind of the funnel is being created. Makes sense? Because if you wait to do it and when you're, down to your last dollar, it's more difficult, it's more stressful at that time. But if you do it while you're growing, then you'll continue to grow, and you don't necessarily have to always go out and create the content over and over.
Exactly. My
And
YouTube has much more in-depth videos on all of these topics. I have
perfect.
a 20-minute video just on citation research.
Love it.
I
And
have multiple videos on SEO. I even have a video series on how to build your own website. I crap on Squarespace and Wix in them, but there is a do-it-yourself web builder out there called Weebly that I have had pretty good experience with.
Okay.
That's what I kind of started with when I was just a little baby SEO guy. I started with a little drag and drop called Weebly. It does have a spot for meta tags and H tags and all that good stuff that they want to see. So I have outperformed Home Advisor on that one, and
Nice.
BBD. and owned the organic section. So I used that as my template for a do-it-yourself web build series, 7 videos on my website.
Nice.
And yeah, to touch on the have your cake and eat it too approach, the hybrid model, very popular, is done right. When we run your ads and A/B test them and structure them and manage everything right, your ROI is good enough to cover the cost of the SEO plus leave you in the green.
Nice.
So that would help to not have to pay twice. You don't feel like you're paying for ads and you're paying for SEO. You're paying for ads and the ads are paying for the SEO. Plus you're getting a little on top. So as the SEO grows, that little on top just keeps getting bigger and bigger chunk.
Love that. Love that. And so for me, coming in, from the tax and accounting world, if you're not tracking your numbers, you won't see this, right? Your return on your investment on your marketing spend is a very, very important KPI or key performance indicator to monitor, to make sure you're working with the appropriate company or person to get the results
Exactly.
to get the results that they say they're going to get. So if you're not seeing that trend that John just mentioned, then that may not be the best fit for you, or maybe something needs to be tweaked. But if you're not watching those numbers, I've seen companies where the marketing spend is out the door and they're still at a loss and the income isn't growing in the same proportion or higher. So that's really important to be tracking this, so you can keep an eye out on those profit, margins and those ROIs, return on investments. One thing you mentioned, John, that I liked was the Google My Business, or whatever it's called now, that you can actually post on that. I think a lot of people get caught in social media only, but you can post on your Google profile, correct?
Correct. It's actually a very valuable thing. I recommend doing it at least once a week. And with that, you can add an image, you can type up a paragraph, you can insert links. You can really utilize it if you know what you're doing. And that's why we generally like to get images from the clients. Like if I'm working with a contractor, for example, I'll tell them, take pictures at all your job sites, especially if you're working a job in an area where you want more jobs. Like the Woodlands was my example on the slideshow presentation. If he's up there doing a kitchen remodel, for example, like send me those pictures. I'll post them because they're geotagged for the area he wants more work in. Plus I can rename the image kitchen remodel Woodlands, Texas. And now I'm ranking better for that search term in the right area that I want to get greened up a little bit.
Awesome.
Put that in there, drop a little paragraph talking about what you do, slip in those keywords, maybe some synonyms, kitchen remodel, crib kitchen renovation. You get the idea. So by utilizing that, you're literally posting it directly on Google because it's Google My Business. So you're basically screaming in Google's face, rank me for this in this area.
Yeah.
You're not playing footsie with backlinks. You're putting it right in their face.
Great points, great reminders. I totally am oblivious to Google My Business. So I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that when I finally went through the process of getting it set up, which is fun.
I'd say about 75% of the time people go, yeah, I think I have one.
Right.
I don't know.
How do I get
I'll have to look?
It's not the easiest, but that makes sense. So thank you for those reminders. And
Maps is great in local SEO because you're not going to be competing against the national brands.
Right.
Google likes to separate out the local results from the national results. That's why in the map section, you'll only see local guys with either a service area that encompasses where you're at or a little pin drop near where you're at.
Makes sense.
You're not going to see someone in New York on a map result in Texas.
True.
Maybe in the organic section, because then you're going to have BBB, Home Advisor, and all these default programs or national brands, but you'll never see that in maps. So it's easier to compete. And if you know Google My Business, you can rank easily in Google My Business.
Love it.
Again,
Love it.
Several videos on that in my YouTube channel.
Perfect. So definitely, guys, go ahead and check out the comments. If you're in Clubhouse, come on over to the Facebook SDR Consulting Inc. page. It's also in the Clubhouse chat. And if you're here on Facebook Live, I've dropped both the YouTube page. I've also dropped an ebook that John has, and I'll have him talk to you a little bit about that. It's a free ebook that you can download. You can catch that in the comments. And then also for mental health professionals, I have a ebook as well for 12 overlooked tax write-offs for mental health professionals, and that is in the chat. Go ahead and get your free ebooks and check out John's very resourceful YouTube channel. All right. So if anyone's joining us late here, we're going to go ahead and close out. We've been here for Business Basics Friday, talking about private practice marketing basics. John, I want to thank you again for taking the time today to share your insight and knowledge and expertise. And go ahead and tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, move forward if they want more information to work with you.
Yeah, definitely. I also provided a link if anyone wants a one-on-one consultation. I don't charge for those, so you can use that link and schedule an appointment, and we can meet and talk and discuss what areas you're struggling with and try and kick around some ideas to try and get you in a better position. No pressure, no charge, no fee. I'm not going to try and sell you, I promise. First session's always just an exploring session. It's not a sales call, so that's all this is. Also, check out my YouTube. I go in depth and granular on these things. If you're building your own website, I walk you through how to do it. Again, feel free to pick my brain. I also have a YouTube or a Facebook group where a lot of people go in, and I drop a lot of these videos there, cross-share a lot of the information. We got several hundred therapists in there, so that's also a good resource. And of course, the ebook that explains not only how to set up your Google My Business profile, but how to utilize it in order to optimize your ranking potential. I also touch on doing some basic web information like on-site technical SEO, where I break down and touch on what's a header tag, what's a meta tag, what's competition research look like, what's keyword research look like, what free tools are available on the internet for doing these things. I mean, I have several $100 programs that I utilize because I'm a professional company licensed here in Texas. However, you're not going to want to spend $500 a month on these tools that you're going to use once. So utilize these free tools that I mentioned in the ebook. I think I have links to them.
Perfect.
And again, if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up.
Sounds good. Thanks again, John. And your company name again, John, is
5 Dog Digital Marketing.
5 Dog Digital Marketing. And I love the
see
dog
Ziggy
in the background. What's the name? Ziggy.
That's Ziggy.
Ziggy.
He's deaf.
Ziggy joined us today for the live. Love it. All right, everyone. So once again, Business Basics Friday. I'm Safi Russell, founder and CEO of SDR Consulting, Inc. And I focus on tax accounting and business consulting services for mental health professionals as well as business owners. And you can definitely contact me by scheduling a complimentary discovery call. You can get access to that link through downloading the ebook, and you can also call the office to schedule a call at 516-255-6603. You can find me online at SDR Consulting on Instagram and Facebook as well. So we won't be here next Friday, so join us the following Friday. I'll be traveling next week and then enjoying my birthday. So we'll be back, I believe that's Friday the 18th for our next session, 12 o'clock Eastern. Mark your calendars. Also stay tuned for an upcoming masterclass on November 19th about growing your practice and transitioning to a group practice or continuing to expand your group practice while minimizing IRS red flag risks. So if you are connected, you'll see the registration link for that upcoming masterclass, and looking forward to having you all there. Thanks again, John, and everyone. Have a great weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.